Hello, everybody out in internet land. This is Gen X Man back with another Tabletop Tuesday. Roll for initiative. I decided to do a twofer for today because I have seen the way that my thoughts on starting solo roleplay in under 10 minutes. That video has just exploded, and I was like, you know what? I got another topic to talk about that I was been thinking about for ever since I made that video, and wanted to spend a couple minutes on. I thought, you know what, I'll toss that out there. Maybe they enjoy that too. I mean, so anyway, I got some thoughts. Basically, that there are twin pillars for myself. There are twin pillars of avoiding solo play metagaming. Avoiding the metagaming is, in my opinion, the most important thing because the entire point of sitting down to play this game is to enjoy what happens, to enjoy what's created, to make memories, and to have a good time. And for myself, whenever I feel that I'm metagaming in some way, it spoils it. It just spoils the whole barrel. You gotta throw out the whole barrel. It's all ruined. You gotta start over again. And I have done that many times. I am guilty of the metagaming. I mean, I've been doing this, okay, a long, long time. Decades and decades. So I've flubbed it up a few times, but I have learned from those mistakes and I wanted to pass on what I've learned to the best of my ability. But these twin pillars, the first of all, is the suspension of knowledge. Before you sit down to play, before you do anything, before you roll, determine two things: who knows what and who wants what. That's the easiest way that my limited public education brain can convey. For example, let's say there's a guard standing watch over our imprisoned PC hero. He got caught stealing, whatever. He's in jail now. Here's this guard. What does the guard know? Only that our PC is a prisoner. What does he want? Now, think of the guard for just a moment. Just give it the barest moment. Because the dice might dictate that our PC persuades him to let them out. Why would he do that? Maybe the guard has a sick aunt. They need money. Maybe the guard and the PC were friends once. There's 101 reasons why this might happen. So jot down at least one before you start making rolls. And then if the rolls are favorable, you got a reason why. Now you could make up the reason after, but in my experience, I have found that the results from the roll taint the knowledge. So I prefer to sit down and be like, okay, here's this guard. What's his deal? I look at things like if you're playing Marvel superheroes phase rip. If his resources are low, I'm like, okay, he's poor. He's got money troubles. Money may be an aspect. If his psyche is low or something. There's clues on any stat block that are going to give you some idea of aspects that might influence this guard to let our PC out and any other situation they might find themselves in. As another example, let's say our PC is exploring a mine. What does our PC know? Jot down whatever has been presented to the PC thus far. Do they know it's dilapidated? Have they heard rumors of people disappearing here? Are they looking for someone or something? All these things go toward how the PC, without metagame knowledge, is going to approach this mine, which is usually very cautiously, which can allow for certain dice rolls that don't feel like metagaming. For example, as GM, there's a trap up ahead. Using the above information, you'll know if the PC is proceeding cautiously and can roll to detect the trap, to avoid it, etc. What does the PC want in this scenario? Is he just after treasure or is he looking for someone? If it's just treasure, it might be a normal roll to detect it because but if he's looking for a missing person, he's going to be searching that much harder and you might grant him advantage on the roll. See? Also, one of the biggest things, a little tangent here, one of the biggest things that I love, Call of Cthulhu has rolls for knowledge, idea, and luck. All three of those are flipping fantastic for avoiding metagaming. For example, in the above example, the PC approaches the mine. Roll knowledge. Does he have any knowledge of this mine? Does he know people have gone missing? Did one of them crawl back wounded with poison or something like that? So he knows there's a poison trap, so on and so forth. Idea. If he gets trapped in some area, you can have him roll idea and he can have an idea how to get out of it, even though you, the GM, haven't plotted a way. So you can pause the game for a second because it's solo play. You don't have to worry about, disrupting the flow of play and sit there and think and be like, well, he made his idea roll, and start thinking like, how could he get out of this? Maybe watch some YouTube videos about, spelunkers who got their way out of some death trap or something, so luck. By luck, did he manage to either, dodge it? Did the poison needle get caught in his pant leg instead of his flesh or whatever, and so on and so forth? There are ways to go around metagaming so that you can preserve the integrity of your play and not feel like you're ruining it. Also, don't be afraid to make things dangerous, but not deadly. Like the mine above with this trap, that trap has probably been down there for decades. If it's poison, maybe the poison isn't as strong as it once was. That could be a luck roll. Granting advantage on a save against it, same thing. Or lessening its damage or effect. That's not metagaming, that's just physics. Because somebody sets a trap and it's got poison on it and it sits down there for decades, it's going to degrade. So you can give yourself a break without feeling like you're cheating. Now, the second big pillar of avoiding metagaming in my experience was don't cheat. If you're going to cheat, just write the narrative. The random, out of left field moments brought by the chaos factor of dice rolls is, at least to me, of vital importance. I can script anything I want, and there's no end of praise to be lauded on someone that's mastered these skills. But for me, being presented with odd and sometimes brain meltingly chaotic results by dice rolls is the heart and soul of the creative experience. For example, if I wanted a heroic journey, I'd write it step by step with a chart by, I think, Joseph Campbell, I believe it was. Instead, I roll up a hero, I set them on a journey, then I see what the story the dice are telling me. How can I interpret these random bits of nonsense and weave them into this interesting story that I can jot down and revisit later in life with, the big binders I mentioned in the other video. For example, a thief sneaks into a dragon's lair, steals a single coin, which wakes the dragon. Or Thief starts to sneak into the dragon's lair, totally fumbles his sneak roll, fails his dex check, and now he's careening down a mountainside of gold and gems, coming to a skidding stop against the dragon's flank. So he's dead, right? I roll for the dragon's reaction. Amusement. Okay, let's see where this goes. It's the random factor of the dice that add this just out of this world experience that is just I have never been able to recreate that writing, drawing, telling stories to other people. It's the dice add the challenge of creativity for me. Like, you're rolling up a character and you've got a weird low stat. Like Matt Mercer says, that's an RP opportunity. That's RP gold. And it is. It's fantastic. It's just the random element of the dice, I feel, enhances the storytelling experience so much that I'm staring down the 5-0 as far as decades I've been alive, and I have yet to find anything that has come close to that. Not reading a good story or watching a good movie or anything like that. It's the creative explosion of a story that comes to life, adding these dice rolls to a narrative. It's fantastic. So, in conclusion, also, one final thing in conclusion: be careful not to handcuff yourself. I guess this is maybe pillar three. The rules of any system are meant to enhance your play experience, and these suggestions are meant to drive away lingering doubts about the authenticity of your play sessions. None of this should be taken as a slavish set of rules to crush your fun. If you had fun, created some memories, you did it right, keep going. But anyway, that's my thoughts on that I didn't get out in my initial video, and now I wanted to do another video in under 10 minutes. And it looks like by the timer I have succeeded. Yay me. I'm going to go treat myself with something healthy. Please, somebody out there, eat something. It's to spoil yourself on my behalf. I hate diets. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for all the views, the likes, the comments. Please keep them coming. It helps the channel grow and it makes me feel 10 feet tall. I appreciate y'all more than I can express, but I will continue to express. Anyway, thanks again. Have a good one.